Hello, this is Jamie Magrich. Welcome to Jamie's Craft Table. Today I'm going to show you how I made this card. It's really quite simple. The hardest part is this die cut here. So let's get started. What I'm going to be using is a little lace and the stitched lace dies. I've got the dies right here. I'm also going to be using the layering ovals and the stitch shapes dies. I'm going to use the largest oval and the largest stitched oval. Okay. I have a card base which is thick, which is 5.5 by 8.5, scored and folded at 4 1/4. I have a piece of 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch piece of black, which I will die cut with using this die, which I've already done because it takes several passes to get it cut well. I have another piece of black which needs to be large enough to die cut the largest oval with, which I've previously done. I have a piece of whisper white which needs to be large enough to cut the largest stitch shape, and this die, which is from Stitched So Sweetly. And then if you cut it far enough over, you have a 1/4 inch strip that you can use to stamp your sentiment on, and then there's a 3/4 inch strip of scrap of whisper white to stamp this piece on to put on for the center, for the inside. The inside of this card has a little decoration in it. Not a lot, but okay. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do, since I've already cut everything out, I'm going to bring in one of these mats because I have a hard time getting a good stamped impression if I don't. The only ink we're using is Mento. Okay, so I'm going to bring in this die here, or this stamp. I'm going to ink it up. This might be smarter to do this way. See what I'm doing? Make sure I got ink in the center well. There we go, that's better. Okay, now we're going to stamp this. I had a piece of scratch paper. What did I do with it? I don't know. We'll bring another one in. I'm going to stamp this on this piece. Like that. Perfect. Alright, set that aside for a minute. Don't need the scratch paper anymore. Come in with our sentiment, just a little note to say hello. We're going to stamp that on this little 1/4 inch strip. Perfect. Alright, then we're going to bring in this one. And we're going to stamp that right in the center of this piece. We'll trim it off. Perfect. Okay. Alright, now we're ready to assemble this card. Now if I thought about it in advance, I would have put some sticky adhesive on the back of this. I'll show you how I did this one. I just literally brought in my Tombow, got it started, and I just literally just scribbled a very light amount of adhesive on here. I didn't worry about going over the holes or anything. I just made sure it was a very thin amount so that it'll stick, but it won't squeeze out through the holes. Okay, and this is going to cover the entire front of our card. I'll go ahead and put that on there. And I chose the white because I wanted to see the lace. And this card base must be a tiny fraction larger. I'll just trim it off afterwards. Okay, now this piece is going to get adhered to this oval, black oval. Just use the wet glue again. Okay, I'm going to bring in some dimensionals, put them on the back of this. Poke your nail in, pops up that edge. Okay, this is going to go right here. It's a little bit more towards the right side and up towards the top. It's maybe an inch from the top, an inch from this side. Okay, and we're going to take this little banner that we cut. We're going to bring in our snips. We're going to cut it in half. Stagger it like this, turn it over, put some glue on the back, tuck it right in here. Okay, then I'm going to take this just a little note that we stamped, and bring my snips, and I'm going to cut a little angle here. I want it this way. Do I want it? Yeah, this way. You could cut another fishtail if you wanted. And I'm going to cut this side this way. And I'm going to go ahead and glue that right to the card. I actually think I trimmed it down even a little bit more than that. We're going to leave it this size. Okay, and then this piece, it's going to get centered here on the bottom of our card. And I left it a little bit up from the bottom. And I turned it over and snipped off. There we go. It's a very simple card, but I think it's really pretty. It's the one we just made together. Here's the one I did prior. Well, thank you for joining me at Jamie's Craft Table. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope you can find a little bit of time to play with some stamps, ink, and paper.